Hello everybody and welcome to my e-lesson. Well, today I'm gonna tell you how to use pivot tables and what are their basic do's and don'ts, understanding of field list, what do we mean by value settings, and how to delete a pivot table. This is of course video number 1 for the pivot table series. This is a very basic introduction to pivot tables, and in the next videos you would see how to create pivot tables that make life easier for you. All right, so before we move on to creating a pivot table or further, let us first understand this example. I have taken 4 headers, that is region, quarter, product, and units sold. The region is for the complete data set. I have taken region 1, and this is quarter 1, 2, 3, 4, quarter 1, 2, 3, 4, that is the 4 quarters in a year, and these are the products that was sold within that quarter, and these were the units sold. All right, now what is a pivot table? Let us see. Okay, we will create a very simple pivot table. We will select the data. All right, and once we select the data, all we have to do is go to insert, click on pivot table, and this dialog box opens. And what does it say? Select a table or a range. We have already selected one. Where do you want to put in the pivot table? Well, we can have 2 options. Either we can put it in a new worksheet which would open over here, or we can choose it to be in the existing worksheet. Then in that scenario we would have to give in the cell location. So this is where I want to have the pivot table. I click OK. My pivot table is there. All right, now immediately you see this new display has come up, which has all these details, and also the field list has come up. Point number 3 over here. I'll come to this. All right, let me just show you a brief example of how pivot table can be powerful. All right, see, I just clicked 2 things, and oh, where did this list go? As soon as you click on this pivot table, the list would come up. If you click out of this table, the list would go hide. As soon as I clicked on quarter and unit sold, it immediately gave me the sum of the sales of quarter 1, 2, 3, 4. We can just by looking at it tell that quarter 2 has been the most successful one, quarter 1 the least successful one. All right, so this was very basic pivot table. We'll come to more details about pivot table, but first some do's and don'ts about a pivot table. While we are creating a pivot table, we have to ensure that all the headers of that all the columns have defined headers. All right, we cannot have a header to be a blank cell. All right, otherwise pivot table won't be created. Second most important thing is that never have a blank row within the data set. Neither have a blank column within the data set, because in that case the chances are that the results that you will get from the pivot table may not be as accurate. All right, so these are the 3 basic don'ts that you have to take care of, otherwise rest everything goes. Now we'll come to understanding the field list. It is very, very important. Now if you see the field list, actually what it does is that it immediately starts reflecting the headers that you have put, and in the same sequence. First we have region, then we have quarter, then we have product, then we have units sold. Same here, region, quarter, products, units sold. See, and then it has a report filter, a columns label, a row label, and values. So these are the 4 things over there: report filter, column labels, row labels, and values. Report filter is something that I'll cover later. First let me come to column labels. Now to understand column labels, let's look at this example. See, I'm putting quarter in column labels, and see what is happening. That the name of the quarters is now from left to right, that is in columns, column L, column M, column N, column O. So that means that we have moved this aspect quarter into columns. And what is our row label? How can we use a row label? Simply, if you move the quarter to row labels, the quarters would be listed from top to bottom, that is going from row number 5, 6 to 7 and to 8. And then you have the sum of units sold over here. This becomes really very manageable. Even if you have large data, it becomes very easy and manageable to actually analyze it. All right. Now, what is this sum of units? Sum of units is something, what is this? Values? Values is actually the numbers that are listed over here, and you can even ask a pivot table or make a pivot table to calculations for you, pre-formatted calculations. Like over here, it is automatically showing you the sum of the units sold, which is very reasonable, right? Automatically it showed you. We did not ask it to do a sum, but it did it itself. But we can actually ask it to do a lot of other things. Like we go to value field settings, and this dialog box opens up, wherein you can actually first of all rename this thing. Like it is saying sum of units sold, I can simply have it units sold. All right. And then currently it is showing as, first of all, let me say, all right. So we change the name, we go over here again, we go to value settings. Sorry. All right. Now currently it is the default selection is sum, so it is showing us the sum. We can even have the count selected over here. See what would happen. Quarter 1, 2 is 5, 3 is 5, 4 is 5. So that means quarter 1 is mentioned 4 times, quarter 2 is mentioned 5 times in this data range. And then we can again choose different settings. Average, it would give us the average sales. See, the average sales in quarter 1 were 4202.25. In quarter 2 it was 43291, 4391. In quarter 3 4198, and so on. So we can very easily tell that quarter 2 was the most productive quarter in terms of averages. And beautiful max. Max would tell you the highest sales in a specific quarter. So in quarter 1 the highest sale was 5611. Here it is. In quarter 2 the highest sale was 5299. 5299. Here it is. HTC. So same way you can look for the minimum sales also. This was the least. These are the least sales in a quarter. And product, I believe the next one would be product. Yes. Oh, we can't have a product. Custom name is product. What happened? Okay. And now we go to unit setting and we see product. What is happening? Something has gone wrong. No problem. We'll use another option. We can go to value field settings from here. We'll select product. Pivot table field names already. Why is this happening? I did not rename it. Very simple. I'll get back to this in a moment. Let's cover point number 5. Delete this pivot table. Just simply select it, press delete, create another one. Control A. Now shortcut Alt NVT. Alt NVT. Haha. Is a simple shortcut. Something goes wrong, get it back. Okay. Right, value field setting, and I was on product. See. Now, what does product tell me? Product actually is nothing but the multiplied result of all the values mentioned in a specific quarter. Like quarter 1 has 4 values: 5611, 4999, 2338 and 3861. So all these 4 multiplied together, this is their product. We can see it over here: 2532023393920009. A very simple way of multiplying things. Alright, and then we would have, I believe they would have standard deviation, and these deviations don't matter to us. So this is how we understand value field settings. Now coming to report filter. Now since we understand pivot tables a little bit more than we did at the beginning of this video, I assume that now we can actually also understand report filter. Now in this example, we have taken all these products from in a quarter, right? Now we can even have a filter created out of any of these options. Like I'm creating a filter for product. Now I can choose just to see the details of the product BlackBerry. See, immediately first thing, BlackBerry was most sold in quarter 3, and quarter 4 saw 0 sales. See, now it's the same way. You can even have multiple selections, like I want to see BlackBerry and HTC. So this is BlackBerry and HTC. Just let us see for iPhone. Alright, even in quarter 4, even iPhone did not sell in quarter 4, and quarter 1 was the highest selling quarter. So this is a basic pivot table. We learned how to create one, what are the do's and the don'ts. We understood the field list, we understood the value settings, very important, how to delete a pivot table, how to save it, simply Control S. Alright, so in the next video I'll have a detailed orientation into actually using a pivot table for analysis. So until the next video, this is your guru. Do not forget to download this training file for free from my eelesson.org. Have a great day ahead. Happy learning.